I love model churches very much. They can be of enormous help to get interested in the principles of church development. There is hardly any more effective way imaginable than learning the principles of church health from a church that actually displays them. I've learned everything that I know from small or large model churches, from model churches with 12 people in attendance, with 30 people in attendance, with 80 people in attendance, with 300 people in attendance, even with more than 1,000 people in attendance. But who has told us that a church only qualifies as a model church if it is a mega church? Where does this teaching stem from? I don't know that. I know that, but I would criticize this in the name of empirical evidence, clear empirical evidence, in the name of effectivity, in the name of the Bible. In the NCD paradigm, model churches play a very important role, but we only speak about model churches and church models in the plural form. We want to look at the variety of very different, wonderful church models and learn from them, rather than reducing everything to just one model that we sell as the secret of success. Every model church, at least every good model church, there are exceptions to the rule, teaches on both. On the one hand, on universal principles of church health, and then secondly, on their own specific, very often highly culturally bound and personal discoveries. To use a mild term, many of the leaders of the model churches do not have a very well developed ability to distinguish which feature belongs to which category. They can sell you highly personal and contextual features as universal principles with an incredible high level of confidence, and they may completely neglect teaching on some principles that are at the core of any healthy church, including their own ones. In other words, I love the practice of model churches very much. I am not so much a fan of many of their writings because of the reasons that I mentioned, but I will not criticize them for that. God hasn't called them to speak about universal principles of church health, but to share their own individual insights. They can be fascinating, they can be helpful, they can be eye-opening, and I fully agree to this, but we should never confuse them with universal principles.